Combo. His arm.
Okay, this part two. I see you still talking about. Now you're talking about bladed stance. First of all, they're in a squared up stance because of the four corners of a square. You see my fingers? The four corners of a square. It's called a squared up stance. Tyson Fury's right foot is in front of his left foot. His left foot, Tyson Fury, is in front of his right foot. That's the squared stance. That's for brawling. That's a brawling stance. That's not the bladed stance. The bladed stance would be like this. So if Deontay Wilder was able to pivot on the game, just pivot slightly where Riyadh season is, then he would be in the bladed stance and Tyson Fury would still be in the squared up stance with both of his feet. If they were in the bladed stance, both of their shoulders would be in front of each other. But because he wanted the game, the only way because he wanted the game to be like a 2D fighting game, to be on the side with the manipulation of a 3D game, they increased the tracking of the feet. So now, in order to get off that line, you got to sidestep. Then once you sidestep, you off that center line, he also increased the time variation for that as well, right? He increased the time variation for that too. He also, y'all dying to see what my rank is, right? I don't care, y'all can see it. Trust me, I don't suck as bad as you do. So, whoever watching,
Welcome to the
shout out to Steel City for the faster load times too, because it used to take forever. I should just put it on the gym. It ain't that many cutscenes. But anywho, all right. So now, if I sidestep like this, right, I should jump off that line, right? See how he moved? He moved after. So if I move, he gonna move with me, right? He gonna move with me, right? His feet sliding with me. Watch the feet. Then once I sidestep, then it moves. It's supposed to be a longer delay, but Will Kinzer increased it. So when I jump off that, see? When I jump, then it moves. But it's like a half a split second when it should be a whole second. And the man has to readjust itself. So if I make a move like that, see? If I make a move like that, then his feet move. I'm off that line. See? Then I move like this, right? It's somewhat in the bladed stance for a split second, but it was longer than that. They changed it because he wanted to implement that. Somehow, someone told him that you do this. And once you do this, you jump yourself into the southpaw stance. See? Boxers can do that. Mike Tyson did it all the time, but they didn't do it as much. It wasn't a staple in boxing, right? And a lot of Soviet fighters do that as well, right? But if they could have added this, they could have added pivoting. Pivoting would have revolutionized this game, right? So now, and then gamers always fighting to want to be the person on the left or the right of the screen. They're not used to a real 3D game like you got with Dragon Ball Z, where you can completely walk around your opponent. With Tekken, you can completely walk around your opponent. If you were to hit somebody in the back of the head, the referee should come in and say no hits in the back of the head. This game had so much potential in the realism world. I'm telling you that we'll mess it up. Look at that pivot, right? Just subtle movement of me moving the sticks, right? He doing a pivot, but it don't matter because it's just an animation, right? It's just an animation, bro. Look at that. Look at the pivoting. He pivoting with his feet. Tyson Fury pivoting. Boom. They also should have left and right stamina. So when you start talking about pivoting, they actually squared up, Marshall. They're squared up, bro. That's a squared up position, not the bladed position, bro. Wilder has to pivot his right foot, where his right foot is behind his left foot in an angle. So that's the bladed stance, but I can't get in the bladed stance because he in a squared up stance. So when I get close, we in a squared up stance. This is called the inside movement. You couldn't do this in the inside when you were the inside. You could only throw hooks and uppercuts. But people in the Discord complain that you couldn't throw straights in this area. So when you got in this area, you couldn't even throw straights. So that's what's throwing the game off. You couldn't even throw straights because straights in this position don't work, bro. Oh, let me show you. Straights in this position don't work, bro. Period. It don't work. In inside fighting, people don't throw straights in inside fighting. And a lot of you guys don't know that much about boxing. You like the sport, but you don't know that much about boxing, right? I'm gonna pull a boxing inside video so I can get straight to it, right? I can't think of two people except Arturo Gatti and Andre Ward. I mean, Ward. So when you fighting in the inside, right, you don't throw straights. You only throw uppercuts and hooks in the inside, right? There's a video talking about inside tricks, right? But the community, because Steel City trying to satisfy casual boxers and hardcore fans, they fucking up the game. Because you can't have the truth in a lie. Arcade is a fucking lie. So you can't, they're mixing the lie with the truth, and that's why it's fucking up the game. See? So anytime you watch somebody fight in the inside, right? Try to find a real match where they fighting in the inside. Jeez. Let me just pick a fight. Well, let me see. Inside fight, right? So when you fight 4-3-6 in the clinch. So if you can see in this video, right? They just train it, right? He just throwed a 1-2, but he just tap it, right? He wouldn't do that in a real fight. So you see, they too close to throw. You can't really get no leverage off of your punches throwing a jab and a straight. A man will counter the shit out. He'll eat that jab and hit you with a hook. And that hook hurts in real boxing. It's a power shot. Y'all got the stuff in your head the wrong way because in boxing, there's no power shots like how video games implement power shots. Power shots is left hooks, right hook, left uppercut, right uppercut, and a right across. Those are your power shots in boxing, right? I should have just pulled up the fight. But anywho, you can go look up this on your own time and see two fighters fighting in the inside, and you'll see that those fighters do not throw straights when they get close. It's only certain ranges that they throw straight punches, and it's only the range find. You just range finding your guy, right? So you see these two guys, but you'll see the bladed stance will be switching up. See, watch. You'll see, right? Now they both in the bladed stance from a distance, right? Now if you watch the feet, this is just a random boxing match. He stepped that foot on the outside to land that right hand, right? But most of the time, you'll see he getting squared up because he want to fight. So that's the fighting position. See, that's the fighting position in boxing, that squared up position, right? And you're not able to take yourself out of that squared up position because of pivoting and footwork. They're calling it footwork, but you're really not that free with your footwork because Will struggled against, and I hate to keep saying his name, right? But it's his fault. He struggled in this video right here. He could not hit Fanatico. This is before he started messing with the game, right? So the footwork was different. You couldn't really land punches like that unless you was on the right angle. So he felt like that was too hard. That's Will, the one kind of bending. Right? So if you seen right there, his feet was in a bladed stance. He put his left foot in front of him. Right? These little nuances you guys wouldn't see. Right? And I'm not trying to make fun of anybody or belittle anybody. I'm just telling you what you don't know. If I say you never went to school and got your doctorate, would you feel any kind of way? No, you wouldn't, because you didn't go get your doctorate, right? So if you look at the footwork, right? You see how his feet was close together? Watch the feet, the left foot of both fighters. You see, right there. See? See? His left foot is in front of his left foot. You can't do that now. See how his left foot is in front of his left foot? Go try to do that on the game. You can't do that. You see how he's standing in front of him? That's the bladed stance that Arturo Gotti's in right now. You can't even, I bet you can't get the animation to put that left foot in front of his left foot. You can't. And I have to, so look how long he's in it. See? Now, look at Terrence Crawford's left foot. They're not tracking. The tracking was increased with the footwork, brother. With the footwork. And this shit was difficult for Will Kinsler in 2022. I was in the Discord then. Look at the feet. You can put your feet, now look at him. Crawford is squared up. And he in the bladed stance. You can't even do that on the game. Now they both in the squared up stance. See? So these nuances, gamers didn't know. Look, he threw a hook in that situation. See? So you had to know your foot placement and where to punch. And Will Kinsler felt like he couldn't do it. Other players couldn't do it. Because he was having a problem. Look how he increased tracking right there to make the jab land. Remember, he's over this game. So he also changed. You don't believe me? Let's go further in this video. And I'm going to show you right here how you could be in awkward positions in this game. That's Will trying to get away from punches. And he getting tagged. You can go to the video when they dropped the game in 2023. Now watch this, watch this. You can go to the video with him talking, and he talks about how Fanatico was beating the shit out of him. It's in January 31st, the early access video. You go watch that video, you'll hear Will Kinsler talk about how Boxing Fanatico was beating the shit out of him. And how it was a foot placement game. Go watch the video. And he's taking it, look at that, bladed stance again. Look at that, bladed stance again. Now you're locked in the positioning because he changed it. That's why the game is off kilter. It's off, look at that. Look at that. Look, you can't even do that no more. That front foot, he kicked the boxers out of the studio so he could make his own game. And y'all guys not supporting me. I'm telling the truth. Showing you, look at that. They're in a bladed stance. But y'all don't argue these points because you don't know the science. All you care about is punches. Look at the foot placement. You had to get your feet in the right positions in this game. You can literally get on the side of your opponent if you made a mistake. Look at that. That's freedom. Look, he in the wrong position. Look at his foot. Look what his foot placement is. Look at the view of the camera view. The reason why it's leaning because that's an indication of a counter. He thought that was sloppy. Then here's the part where he was trying to learn how to do manual blocking. He could not beat Fanatico. So he figured that we not talented enough to catch on to the game. when he not even on the leaderboard. And for those of you who want to know my rank, I don't care if you look at it. I'm going to show it to you. I'll show it to you. For all you want to see. I'm not like MMA, JMMA, Proaxis, right? Even though they took out a lot of boxing elements, which maimed me and put me into an arcade fighting game, I'm still decent at this game. See? How many of you are gold tools? How many of you? How many of you are gold tools? How many of you are gold tools? I can go out of here. I got 2 accounts. You can look at both of them. I don't care. One of them I got banned for trash talking. Right? Somebody reported me. That's cool. Right? Let's go to this one. Right? This is my main account. So we go ahead and look at this one too. This one is a gold 4. Right? So for you who talking all that shit, you suck at the fucking game. I don't suck at the game. Because I understand how the game works and I understand every little nuance he changes. Because he don't know shit about, I don't even know why Ash Habib and his brothers is allowing him to do this. You trust the white man that much, Ash? You let him come and look, gold 4. What, I ain't got a lie? What? My unranked match. My ranked. What, I ain't got to lie? Now go look at Marshall Mine. He got 7 fights online because his ego, all of them, scared to let you see their record because they care about views. I care about boxing. Peace.